Jai Hind, dear students and my dear teachers. Today we are moving to the next chapter, Principles of Management. You know very well, it is one of the second chapter in business studies, which gives details regarding the contribution of two famous peoples, Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. So, before moving to that, what is principle? What is the role of principle in management? So, what is principle? You know very well, principles are general statement which shows some truth. So, a principle is a fundamental statement as a fundamental statement of truth that provides guidance to thought and action. So, this is the statement which is world famous for the meaning the term principle. So every time a principle shows a fundamental truth which guides the people for achieving some objectives. So you know very well when we think about the concept H2O, H2O just that stands for two hydrogen plus one oxygen is water. That is universally accepted one. So the principles are also universally accepted one. Then what is management principles or principles of management? Principles of management are broad and general guidelines for managerial decision making and behavior. So we have a lot of principles in our life, like the same in business also management is following lot of principles. What is the aim? To make a better decision for the growth of the organization, or maybe for bringing some change in the behavior of the employees or the members of an organization. Why we are following principles in our life? To bring a proper behavior that is accepted by the society. So, like the same in management also, principles guides to bring better decision and also to bring change in the behavior of the employees. Let us look at the different nature of different points that indicates the nature of principles of management. The first one is universal applicability. Universal applicability. As I said earlier, water is H2O. Whether it may be in Kerala or in America, both are same. Okay, so every principles are universally accepted. Management principles are universally accepted. For example, there is one famous principle by Henry Fayol, division of work. When the work is divided among the employees, it brings specialization and also it helps for the better performance of the top authorities. That principle is applicable not only the organization in India but also all around the world. Wherever if we are applying that principle, we will get the same result. So universal applicability. They can be applied in all type of organization, business as well as non-business, small as well as large enterprises. There is no difference in the size of the organization. We can apply the principles of our management everywhere. So remember the point, universal applicability. Principles of management have universal applicability. Normally, the principles are showing some guidance for the managers. So we are moving to the next point, that is general guidance. General guidelines. So every time this principle give a proper guidance for the manager to take better action or decision. Every time it helps to solve the problems of management. So remember the point, general guidelines. And all the principles are formed by practice, through continuous practice and experiments. You know very well, Thomas Alva Edison invented bulb. He developed that one and finished into a final product, usable product, after a lot of practice and experiments. Lot of theories are there, not only in commerce but also in different disciplines. All the things are developed through experiments, practice. Now students are getting much freedom than the traditional classrooms. It is also an outcome of the inventions or thoughts by the psychologist. So principles are formed by practice and experiments. Next point is flexible. All the principles are adapted and modified by the practice. It is flexible, it is changeable, modifiable as per the situation. So every time changing situation, changing business environment need or demand change in the principle also. So remember the point flexible. Every principle shows some kind of cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship. So when we apply one principle in the organization, maybe due to some reason or cause, there will be certain change or effect. Suppose, as per the principle unity of command, we have to receive commands from only one superior. Suppose we are receiving commands from more than one superior, there will be certain level of confusion. We will be unable to obey the orders, commands of the superior, maybe due to the confusion arised. So it shows the cause and effect relationship. Every type principle shows this. And contingent. So the applicability of management principles depends upon the prevailing situation. Prevailing situation means the present situation, relevant situation, and it is depending upon a particular point of time that occur in business. That is why contingent. That is why it is contingent. So that are the points related to nature of principles of management. Remember all the points. Then we are moving to the next topic, significance of the principles of management. Why the management principles are so significant, very important. So let us look at the first point, that is it provides or providing managers with the useful insight into reality. Every time the management principles guide managers to take the right decision at right time by improving their knowledge, ability and understanding of managerial situations and circumstances. So every time the principles of management it also flexible on, it gives maximum direct experience for the managers to take better decisions. That is, they are providing useful insight into reality, the real life situation. So remember the first point, it is essential for every manager. So that is why it is significant. It provides managers with the useful insight into the reality. That may be sometimes help for solving some problems also. Next point is optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. So by following the management principles, the manager is able to utilize whatever it may be the resources like the physical resources, financial resources and human resources up to the maximum. Maximum utilization of all these resources is possible. So if there is maximum utilization of all three resources like physical resources, financial resources and human resources, automatically there will be effective administration. Automatically there will be effective administration is possible. So that is why it is significant optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. Next point is scientific decision. You know very well scientific management. You're going to learn scientific management, one of the famous policy of F.W. Taylor. Here, scientific decision is possible through principles of management. How scientific decisions are occurring? Only through the follow up of systematic steps to solve one problem or to create an idea. So decisions based on management principles tend to be more realistic, balanced and free from personal bias. So whenever we solve one problem, suppose I would like to bring a new product into the market. So how it is scientific? We have to conduct a market survey to find out the attitude of the customers in particular area. Also, we have to analyze with the support of statistical techniques. After finding out the results, we have to come into the generalization whether we have to bring the product into the market or not. So, scientific decisions are possible with the support of the management principles. The next point is meeting the changing environmental requirements. Meeting the changing environmental requirements. So, management principles provide an effective and dynamic leadership and help the organization to implement the changes. Every time there will be change due to the changing dynamic world. Only with the support of the principles of management, the managers will adapt all that changes very effectively. So there will be dynamic leaders inspiring people to bring all the employees in a positive mode to accept the changes. So only principles of management will help for accepting the changes. What is happening in the organization? Then fulfilling social responsibility. Here, two principles are saying as example, equity and fair remuneration. Equity is one principle put forward by Henry Fayol. As per his view, we should give equal opportunity for all workers in the organization. And fair remuneration means we have to pay the reasonable amount of salary for the workers. So these are related to the social part of the or social objective of the organization. So management principles also concentrate in fulfilling the social responsibility. So the best example for that type of principles are equity and fair remuneration. Then management, training, education and research. Every time management principles supports to bring the areas where the training is needed. Also suggest the managers to give maximum training education for the workers and also for the managers. And it also provides the basis for future researchers to bring expansion and growth for the organization or for bringing new product into the market, etc. So every time management principle supports training, education and research. So remember these are the points related to significance of the principles of management. Hope all these areas are very clear for you. Remember all the value points. Then create your own explanation. So we will meet in the next video with yet another topic from this chapter. So thank you for your patience. Don't forget to share my videos. Ask your friends to watch the full video to develop your own ideas related all the topics and subtopics from this chapter, Principles of Management. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you.